Hey everyone, today you're probably stuck at home, a little bored, maybe even hungry. So we're going to show you how to cook some eggs and maybe even show you a few tricks. Especially living on campus, you definitely want to kind of follow these steps. So first of all, we're going to be using the stove. Make sure you turn your light on and turn the fan on. There's two settings. So today we're going to be cooking some eggs. So we're going to get the eggs that we need, and in my case I like some turkey along with it. Additionally, we're also going to get the oil for the eggs. So you have the option for canola oil or even olive oil, right? So you can pick and choose. I'm going to go with canola oil. And also, the most important part, you're going to want your pan. So here, I'm just going to cook one egg or two, so nothing too big here. Turn your oven on, or your stove, at around a 4 or 5, depending on where you live. It might look a little bit different, but that's what works for me. And we're going to grab some of the oil and pour a little bit on it. Just enough to kind of get a little dot there, and then we're going to want to spread that over the pan. Kind of get the general area there. Obviously it's going to take a little bit. It's going to be easier to move around once it's a little warmer. In this case, we're going to be using 2 eggs. So we're going to set those up, and then we have some oven roasted turkey from Meyer. So right now we're just letting the pan warm up, and we'll be back in a second. So now that the pan has gotten a little bit hot, you see it's a lot easier to move the oil around. Now we're gonna crack the eggs. So I personally use the edge of the pan. Crack it open, make sure that there's no eggshell on it, and then we just go ahead and throw those eggshells away. I'm gonna go for the second one. Oh, you can see there, caught some eggshell on it. So I'm gonna need a fork here to fish that out. We can just go ahead and throw that away. And that is it for our eggs, and we want to make sure that we salt them a little bit. Get some salt and maybe even some pepper along with it. So this is what I use for this, and I'm going to change this to a low so we can just lightly salted. And then in this case, we're gonna get some pepper, get some light pepper on that. As you can see, this is starting to cook a little bit. And then before it fully cooks, I'm gonna grab a couple pieces of turkey to get in there, along with the egg. Depending on how you like your eggs, you might want to even cover them to make sure that the yolk can actually cook, because when it's open, it's usually a little harder for it to cook. So as you can see here, the yolk is pretty runny. So when I cover it, it'll allow the heat to kind of cook it within, so it'll make it a little harder. So now the eggs look pretty much done. So now we're gonna get some utensils so we can just go ahead and eat. There we go. Now we go ahead and turn this off. Everything ready, turn this off. Everything's off now. So you want to make sure that when you're done cooking, this says burner off. As you can see, if I turn this on, it will say burner on, turn it off, it's off. Make sure that even though this says burner off, the oven itself might be, or the stove itself might still be hot, so be aware of that. Now that our food is cooked, we can go ahead and put all of our ingredients away and eat away. Now that we're done, we can go ahead and take a bite of our nice and runny eggs. Oh, that's